the entire story of Ben 10 illustrated, all 5 parts. Those of you that have joined me on my journey and you're only on part number 5, go ahead, look down at the chapters and skip to that. Otherwise, I put all my reactions in this one video so that you can see me react to the amazing story of Ben 10. By the way, guys, I think I'm going to react to the first episode. I'm going to start a new side channel and start reacting to these shows of these awesome fandoms you guys have been showing me. So, without further ado, let's get into it.
An unquantifiably long amount of time ago, there was a blank dimension without a universe in it.
All right.
The fifth-dimensional cosmic traveling beings known as the Quantumalia arrive at this dimension and continue their never-ending expedition of creating universes through this device known as the Annihilar Genesis Story Ephemia Ghost.
What? This is a kid's show? Already, I have had so many words blow my mind away. Is this show like pretty good, guys, as an adult? Like, are you like... Or just thinking like, nah, it was just for kids back when we were young.
Or the Annihilarg, for short. Briefly before the universe was about to be created, the time-traveling would-be dictator Maltruant arrives.
Okay.
With him, his own Annihilarg, programmed to create a universe in his image, with himself as the supreme ruler. Before the evil Annihilarg can go off, shape-shifting hero beyond time known as Ben Tennyson arrives with his partner Rook, and using the power of all of his transformations, contains the Big Bang and defeats malware.
Wait, so he doesn't just shape-shift, he time travels as well? And beats beings that can create universes? Now, I watched the video where he was going to be able to beat Superman and Goku, right? With this, I mean, it just makes perfect sense. It's like, okay, yeah.
Scattering his body into pieces across the universe, destined to repeat
like
his
failure
over and over again, trapped in a time loop. Gazing upon the faces of God, Ben and Rook admire the beauty of creation. From there, the universe...
This is deep. This is part 1, right? Yeah, okay, all right. I'm just making sure, because, like, this is really deep.
Prime is born.
Wait, I gotta catch that again.
From there, the Universe Prime is born.
Universe Prime. All right. Got it. And that's where Ben 10 resides, right? Universe Prime. The final episode, part 1. What? What? Now I'm really confused. Okay, the entire history. All right, yeah. That's what I'm looking for. I got to learn about Ben 10, guys. Once I found out he could beat Superman, I was like, who is this kid? He's smacking down my boy. Ben 10 was created by man. Okay, got it. Cartoon Network, yes. Very, very good program. When I was a kid, I watched Dexter's Laboratory and Johnny Bravo and those types of cartoons.
This video will be the first in a 5-part series of an illustrated retelling of the entire history of Ben 10.
Good, that's what I'm looking for.
Series all the way to Omniverse. The information will be presented chronologically.
What is Omniverse? What's the difference in that? Give me a little brief summary in the comments.
So you will see all flashback and time travel shenanigans play out in the order they would have happened in the natural progression of the universe.
Okay.
By the end, you should be
Alien X. See, I've already learned some stuff. And that dude is crazy cool.
well versed.
And is there a version where he doesn't have to deliberate with the other two beings? Or is that just like a made-up happenstance? And if he does, or do y'all say that he's less powerful somehow?
In the legacy that is the hero of heroes. I'd love to hear reactions from both longtime fans and new beginners of the show, and see if they can follow along.
Okay.
Now, let's begin.
I'm a new beginner.
The universe are the single-celled ancestors to all DNA, known as slimebiots. These sentient genetic metamorphic species gather, carry, mix, and deposit DNA across the growing universe for eons to come.
They look like that one little octopus, I can't remember what it is, with the little ears.
They are essentially the creators of most known sentient life today.
What?
Sometime after the universe had time to grow,
little boogers?
a swampy, small planet gives birth to a genius that will become the smartest being in many galaxies. Azimuth. A Galvan who at full height is only about 6 inches tall. Soon
I don't understand that kind of stuff, man. I realize that's evolution, but like, those little boogers made the smartest being in existence?
begins to flourish his passions to invent and learn alongside his mate, Zenith. His first grandiose invention.
Wait, if they made him, where'd she come from? To make her too?
Being an entire artificial planet known as Primus. Obsessed with his own capability, Azimuth sought out to find a way to tap into the fundamental forces of the universe and control the laws of physics himself. Inspired by a solitary alignment, Azimuth forged the Sword of Ascalon, a sword that wields such great power.
I wonder about this kind of stuff, guys. If he can control, right, like universe style stuff, what good is a sword? Like what?
One can't help but compare it to magic. This pushed Zenith away, with a young Azimuth too ignorant to care. However, the sword was stolen by a fierce incursion warrior, hoping to put an end to their constant world wars. This eventually led to the destruction of the incursion planet. Azimuth
Got the sword. All right.
After retrieving,
I'm really surprised at how little I'm hearing of Ben 10 so far. That's really cool. So this stuff goes pretty deep, huh? Ben 10's not just like a slapped it together kind of story. Like they really got their lore.
Sword, Azimuth was still longing to prove the sword's creation was valid. Eventually, Azimuth visited a, quote, pathetic backwater planet he came across on his studies.
Earth.
Earth, circa 1131, the
Nailed
medieval
it.
era. Georgius, a Roman soldier,
I have to hear that again.
circa 1131, the medieval era. Georgius, a Roman soldier cursed with immortality, is defending his land from a cross-dimensional shape-shifting being known as the Dagon.
Oh, dang. Is this on the show? I like this kind of stuff, guys. I like Dungeons & Dragons style. I love this. He's immortal. And man, that's cool stuff. Fighting dragons. Ben 10 goes deep. I had no idea.
A slaver of 100 different dimensions.
I just thought he was like a, Green Lantern kind of wannabe thing. By the way, if you want me to react to the Green Lantern Ben 10 death battle, let me know, because I've had several requests for it so far.
And his army of demon Lacubras. To relinquish the assault, Azimuth offers the knight his sword if Sir George,
They're like even more terrifying than a tardigrade.
the Roman soldier's current name, was worthy enough to wield it.
Okay.
Sir George indulges on Azimuth's offer
he
and
looks
engages in an epic battle, ending with George cutting out the heart of the Dagon and leaving Ascalon buried within.
Gotta admit, that heart, I figured it would be like green or red or blue or something. It's just tan.
As the Dagon's heart was the source of his power, George was then able to magically seal the Dagon away, freeing humanity from his reign.
Okay. Dagon.
Sir George then founded the Forever Knights, vowing to protect Earth from extraterrestrial.
Forever Knights, are they immortal too? I see the little omni what do you call that thing? The 8.
Threats and prepare for the Dagon's potential second coming. Azimuth sought out to right his wrongs by inventing something to represent peace instead of war, hoping that one day his lost lover would notice. Eventually, Azimuth became antisocial and put himself in isolation on Xenon, and began developing the Omnitrix, which can transform the user into a multitude of alien species.
Oh, this little son of a booger's the one that made the Omnitrix. Okay. All right, now it's making, I'm like, who is this powerful dude? What does he have to do with the story? He made it. That's what he has to do with the story. Okay, I got it.
Azimuth would continue to perfect his invention over time.
All right, so it evolves as well, I guess.
In the 1770s,
Because I know y'all have talked about like different versions of it.
George Washington is leading a secret organized branch of hunters dedicated.
Okay, is this stuff in the show? I feel like I want to watch the first episode. If it's all this crap is in there, where it's like got the medieval dude and the Dagon and George Washington with a bunch of axes.
To learning about and protecting the world from supernatural threats and rumors. A stranded Maltruant arrives here and receives aid from a young, banished traveler named Vilgax.
What I thought he got killed, though. Is that what's going to happen? That's what the point... Okay. I got a little turned around in the timeline here.
Vilgax helps Maltruant repair his ship, and in return, Maltruant gives young Vilgax a Chronosapien time bomb.
Of course.
The two are soon intercepted by Ben and Rook time-hopping once again, and fight off young Vilgax and Maltruant with the help of George Washington. Seeing Ben transform from
This is not a joke, guys. This is the real thing. Like, I feel like I'm being punked. Where's Ashton Kutcher? I don't know. This is really how it goes. George Washington is like kicking some booger butt with Ben 10 there. Is that how it goes?
Species to species inspired Vilgax's lifelong lust for this unique kind of power, as Ben unknowingly became the catalyst for his greatest foe. Washington cuts the anchor of Vilgax's ship, inspiring the tale of George Washington cutting down the cherry tree. This also marks the first recorded alien sighting on Earth, and Washington's organization starts to integrate extraterrestrial matters. This sets up the creation of the Plumbers, meant to fix leaks in normal society.
Plumbers. These- Guys, this is pretty fun. I'm getting it now. I'm starting to understand because I was like in college when Ben 10 came out, or at least high school, and I'm starting to get it. This is pretty cool, man.
They create a headquarters hidden behind the faces of Mount Rushmore.
I'm glad y'all recommended this.
Nod to their original members, the Founding Fathers.
All right.
In 1952, an
Okay.
unnamed scientist working in a secret base of operations just outside of Bellwood is completing his
Yeah, that's Doc Brown.
work on a machine that uses quartz crystal to break a hole in the space-time continuum. The machine erupts, and both the scientist and his assistant
Yikes.
disappear, thought to be dead. In 1962, 10 years later, Air Force pilot turned astronaut Maxwell Tennyson saves the life of an energy being named Verdona from an android that aspired to use her as a power source. The two eventually start a family together.
Is she a shapeshifter, or did she just evolve into a human?
Also present was an alien police officer named Magister Labrid, who invites Max to join the
Magister
force.
Labrid.
This stems the integration of the intergalactic merger of said police force and the Earth Plumbers. Plumbers are now multi-galaxy wide and operate as the definitive law enforcement for all.
Okay, obviously the Green Lantern correlation is obvious with the green on Ben 10 and the little device and the power it gives him. But this is like direct Green Lantern. Is there a lot of inspiration from Green Lantern? Is that kind of a thing, or is that is it that no?
All galaxies under their jurisdiction. Max would go on to work with many partners through his years on the Force. On one of his missions, an Osmosian named Devin Levin gave his life for Max, entrusting him to keep an eye on his son. We come to know this son's name as Kevin Levin, who was born with
Kevin
the power
Levin!
to absorb any kind of energy, matter, or DNA.
Does this show the middle? The dude on there, he dates a girl named Devin Levin, which I'm now wondering if that had anything to do with this name right here.
Into himself and replicate it. Of course, it would take a very long time for Kevin to control his abilities,
Oh, okay.
and after accidentally destroying his family's home, he runs away to the city of New York.
Where
A
all
few years
misfits
pass,
go.
and Azimuth has finally finished the prototype version of his Omnitrix, and tasked one of Max's old love interests, Xylene, to transport the Omnitrix to the greatest plumber on record, Max Tennyson, for safekeeping. However, rumors of the
Why does he not just keep it himself? Why does he need to get rid of it? What was that? Did I miss that? You make this extremely powerful device and you're like, and send it away.
Omnitrix's
Send it away.
existence has spread through the universe. Now a fierce warlord with a reputation, Vilgax catches wind of these rumors, igniting his hunger to taste this power he once witnessed hundreds of years ago, and sets a course to intercept
So that was the same guy. He said, I got to re-listen to that.
his hunger. Fierce warlord with a reputation, Vilgax catches wind of these rumors,
Vilgax.
igniting his hunger to taste this power he once witnessed hundreds of years
Right,
ago,
okay, yes,
and sets
yes.
a course
Same
to
guy.
intercept Xylene's mission and capture the Omnitrix for himself.
Dude, the time travel gets things confusing, man. So,
A fight for the Omnitrix between Xylene and
is it like Dragon Ball where it creates a new timeline every time you go back, or is he literally just going back to the timeline that was in?
Vilgax's ship causes an explosion. This concludes with Vilgax suffering life-threatening injuries,
Yikes.
imprisoning him on his own ship until he can
like
properly
Cyborg.
heal. Xylene injects the Omnitrix into a pod locked onto Max's DNA, but she herself falls into the Arctic, freezing her into a deep sleep for the time being. Back in Bellwood, Max
It looked like a desert. How did she freeze?
Tennyson, now retired and living in a motorhome, decides to take his grandchildren on a
Fitting to an old pilot.
cross-country trip to help bring them closer together. A 10-year-old Ben Tennyson, accompanied by his cousin Gwen, begin their road trip with Max at a campsite in Yosemite Park, California.
Wait, so that's it. Ben is his son? Is that right? Did I get that right?
Through a series of events we later learn were manipulated by greater
And is Ben the son of that alien? The purple thing? The love interest he had? That's the guy, right? Max Tennyson? Wasn't he the one and this is his son? Let me know in the comments. I'm a little confused on that, but I think that's correct. From what I just saw, Ben must not be fully human. Right? Is that right?
forces. Ben finds himself crossing paths with
Is that why the Omnitrix works with him? Is because his mom was a shapeshifter? I'm coming up with all kinds of theories. I wish you guys could just tell me now. But no, that's crazy.
mysterious meteor that fell from the sky.
That ain't
the
no meteor.
Omnitrix quickly attaches itself to Ben's wrist, igniting the legend of Ben 10, kid superhero that can change into 10 different alien forms. Max has yet
10?
to reveal to his
You guys told me it was like tens of thousands.
Grandchildren his alien hunting past, but uses his knowledge of alien life and combat training to help Ben master his powers. The trio spend the summer going from state to state, stepping in to help out battle evildoers and save the day when they can.
Can Ben not take that thing off, give it to someone more experienced like his dad, or is it like stuck to him? Does it bind to him, kind of like the ring of Green Lantern? Like, how does that work?
During a trip to New York, the gang eventually run into Kevin, who uses his abilities to absorb the DNA of Ben's aliens for him to use for his own selfish, psychopathic gain. A discharge from the Omnitrix sends Kevin into hiding, where he experiments more with the alien DNA he now has merged into his body.
Now, did he get all of it, or just the ones that he turned into during that time?
Adventures continue. Ben starts to have visions of a mysterious onlooker, someone who has been spying on him and testing him by sending bounty hunters and alien drones. Vilgax's healing time has come to an end, and now with a much more powerful cybernetic body, Vilgax heads straight to Earth to claim the Omnitrix as his own. Vilgax successfully captures Ben, taunting him with his plans of creating an army of Omnitrix warriors. Max reveals his history as a plumber to Gwen, and the two head to Mount Rushmore to gather more weapons to save Ben.
Wait, why? Why do we go to Rushmore?
As a plumber to Gwen, and the two head to Mount Rushmore to gather more weapons to save Ben.
Why? How? Why does Mount Rushmore have weapons? Did George Washington put them there? What?
Meanwhile, a power surge on Vilgax's ship begins to shift Ben between his alien forms. A final assault between Ben, Gwen, and Max against Vilgax leaves him trapped on his exploding ship.
Now, y'all told me that thing has a failsafe so he can't die. Is that right? Is that the case here, or is that an updated version?
Max agrees to open up to the kids about his secret life, and the three become stronger and closer together.
So it's like a family story, too. It's not just about, like, non-family stuff.
As their summer adventures continue, the trio expand their capabilities. Max comes out of retirement and begins to re-familiarize himself with his old technology and weapons. Gwen takes an interest in magic after stealing a spellbook from one of their many
Oh, there's magic in Ben 10, is there? Cool.
Villains. And Ben soon discovered that there are more than 10 aliens in the Omnitrix.
Does Ben ever do magic, or is that like a special powers thing?
It becomes a natural. And Ben soon discovered that there are more than 10 aliens in the Omnitrix.
Okay.
It becomes a natural at many fighting styles.
I was wondering about that when they said there was 10. I was like, is that, is that a lie? Is it wrong? Because you guys told me there's like a lot.
Vilgax eventually emerges under a partnership with Kevin, who has now permanently damaged his body with the alien DNA from Ben's Omnitrix. Ben temporarily gains access to the master control of his Omnitrix. Ben
Does he shapeshift, or is he just jacked up?
Seals them both away in the Null Void, an alternate dimension made to inhabit the galaxy's worst criminals. On Max's 60th birthday, Ben and Gwen are thrusted 20 years into the future by Gwendolyn, an adult version of Gwen, now a master of martial arts and magic. During
Gwendolyn is an adult version of Gwen. She's like, I'm too big for Gwen now.
this brief journey, Ben evaluates the arrogant
Does she still do magic? Oh, obviously. The time traveling.
and selfish behavior he develops as he matures into adulthood, and vows to make different choices as he grows.
And
Ben
gets
and
a
Gwen are
goatee.
returned to their time shortly after defeating future Vilgax. Xylene also arrives after she is accidentally unfrozen by a group of Inuits. She reveals to them that the Omnitrix was intended for Max, not Ben, but deems him worthy enough to keep it. At some point, Ben is yet again hurled into the future, this time only 6 years, during a chrono-randomization barrier error by 16-year-old Ben Tennyson. Ben then helps his future self and team defeat Ultimate Agrigor. More on that later.
What's the little thing? Where's the little thing in the center?
After this event, Ben is sent back to his own time and recalls this journey as a vague dream. Towards the end of the summer, the Omnitrix's self-destruction is accidentally turned on during a battle with one of Ben's reoccurring enemies, Dr. Animo.
Okay, the self-destruction on that thing, y'all have told me it's powerful enough to destroy, like, the universe or something. Like, is that thing nuclear? Like, what is with that thing?
Ben is taken to space by Tetrax, an ex-bounty hunter turned vigilante, to help Ben find the creator of the Omnitrix and turn off the self-destruct, as the destruction's power will destroy
So does it have, like, a time limit on it or something?
the entire universe. Vilgax escapes the Null Void and trails them, intending to steal the Omnitrix once and for all, or force the creator to build him a new one. The gang finally meet Azimuth, who at first refuses to fix the Omnitrix as
I didn't know that little son of a booger was so small, guys. He's
He
tiny.
believes the universe is doomed to destroy itself anyway. In a last effort to save the universe, Ben battles Vilgax and his army one final time without use of the Omnitrix.
Without use of, so he's just shooting them with guns.
This inspires Azimuth to put his faith in Ben as the future
So tiny.
hope of the universe, and fixes the Omnitrix, unlocking one of Ben's most powerful forms in the process. Azimuth keeps an eye on Ben
Ultraman?
from that point forward, but for now, still refuses to give him the master control. Meanwhile, back on Earth, the hybrid begins seeding their plans for universal domination by planting
Hey.
sleeper agents and slowly integrating themselves into society. With summer vacation
What?
over, Ben and Gwen return to school. The disorientated dad of Azimuth soon visits and declares war on Ben after
Azimuth's dad. I thought that Azimuth came from those little booger things.
misinformation leads him to believe that Ben has killed Azimuth, and a Toku Star battle in the middle of Bellwood City causes miles of detrimental property damage. The city secretly enlists the help of various aliens to help rebuild Bellwood, with the aliens taking up camp below the surface. Over
Nice.
time, these camps would form a city of their own. A year passes, and Ben unlocks a new transformation named Feedback and quickly becomes addicted to using him. Meanwhile, in the Null Void, Kevin finds himself in a plumber-operated prison and meets Quarrel, a wise inmate with knowledge on Osmosians. He helps Kevin learn to control his rage, which was the trigger of his initial mutation.
Is he gonna go like good or something?
The more energy an Osmosian absorbs, the more insane they become. To combat this, Kevin learns to absorb matter instead, creating a suit of armor with whatever material he touches. Quarrel helps Kevin escape by sacrificing his life at the hand of the prison warden, who
Dude, what is this dude? Like, he is powerful. A little chaotic, but powerful.
has a deep hatred for criminals. This memory haunts him through his early teens. Still trapped in the Null Void, Kevin is found and recruited by Proctor Cervantes, leader of the Rooters, a special Black Ops division of the Plumbers.
It's like a mix of General Zod and Lex Luthor.
Cervantes was a corrupted scientist who frequently abducted children and performed experiments on them, attempting to create an army of superpowered beings that can
No, we don't like that guy.
assassinate a target known as the oncoming storm. When he discovered Kevin, he thought of him as the key to achieving his dream.
Why do I not know anything about Ben 10? You see, it says 2007. I was in college during that time. Like, it wasn't something college guys were talking about.
And uses Kevin's powers to experiment on himself and a new team of children, creating the Rooters. After a period of training, the Rooters are sent to Earth to execute Ben Tennyson, with the assault led by Kevin. During the battle, the assault
I thought he was going to turn good.
fails, which highly upsets Proctor Cervantes, calling the Rooters project a failure. He wipes Kevin's mind of any memory of him, and does the same to the other Rooters, and lets them loose once again into the Null Void. With his
Man, he needs to meet Alien X. That guy's messed up.
new friend by his side, Kevin and Argent wander the Null Void. They eventually find a way out, and after a few scandals as traveling con artist partners, agree to go their separate ways.
Like a little rat dude. If you guys want to check out more of me learning about, Ben 10 and stuff, subscribe, because I've been learning about Ben 10 and really enjoying it, guys. Also, if you have any suggestions for what I should watch, put a link in the description for me. Not in the description, in your comment, and I'll see if I can get to it.
On Galvan Prime, Azimuth has moved back to his homeworld and becomes their first thinker. During the creation of the Galvanic Mechamorph,
So Azimuth has a dad. I really thought that Azimuth was made from those booger things.
a species of sentient blobs of nanites that can possess and enhance machinery that live on Galvan Prime's moon. Named Galvan B, one mechamorph was made incomplete, which corrupted both his biomass and his sanity. His name was Malware. Azimuth worked to
I like
develop
that.
a cure to stabilize him, but it was deemed a failure. Malware became hostile and attempted to cure himself by kidnapping Albedo, one of the assistants of Azimuth, forcing him to develop a cure. This only mutated and corrupted Malware further. Malware then planned to absorb the Omnitrix and use its power to perfect his form. He steals an incomplete blueprint from an altercation with Ben, and begins working on an Omnitrix duplicate with a spell.
Why was it incomplete? Because of limited time touching it or something like that?
Fantastic scientist known as Dr. Psychobos. The two realize that they are in
Psychobos.
need of DNA samples to program into their Omnitrix, and enlist the services of Kyber the Huntsman
Oh, he looks cool, man. Kyber the Huntsman. Is he like a bounty hunter?
to collect samples from the predators of Ben's aliens. Malware then ambushes the Tennysons, and in an effort to crush Ben's spirit, rips feedback out of Ben's Omnitrix and vaporizes him.
Whoa, wait, he can do that? I didn't know that the Omnitrix could lose aliens. How did he do that? Is that normal? Has that ever happened before or again? Is that the only time that ever happens?
Destroying Ben's ability to transform into him. Malware, Dr. Psychobos,
I like how Gwen's constantly carrying that little spell book. Does she really use it very well much?
and Kyber then spend the next 5 years collecting DNA samples for what they will eventually call the Nematrix. Heartbroken by the loss of feedback, Ben eventually has the Omnitrix removed.
This video is the third in a 5-part series
Number
of
3.
an illustrated retelling of the entire history of Ben 10, from the
And it's been a
classic
good one.
series all the way to Omniverse.
Let me know if you think these illustrations are accurate. Not like how good they look, but how, the
The
storytelling.
information will be presented chronologically, so you will see all flashback and time travel shenanigans play out in the order they would have happened in the natural progression of the universe.
Right.
By the end, you should be well versed in the legacy that is the hero of heroes.
And you guys have told me I'm not well versed yet because I can't remember anything or pay attention to anything, but I did know that dude right there was indeed inspired by Ultraman. I could tell just by looking at
I'd
him.
love to hear reactions from both longtime fans and new beginners of the show, and see if they can follow along.
This is it.
Now, let's begin.
I can, not due to your fault, dude. According to everyone in the comments, it's my lack of paying attention.
4 years later, Ben is now 15 years old and continues living a normal life, playing sports and drinking smoothies. With
Got it.
Grandpa Max missing, Ben re-equips the
Grandpa?
watch, and with the help of Gwen and Magister Labrid, the High
Wait, was that a new watch you said?
Max missing, Ben re-equips the watch, and with the help of Gwen and Magister Labrid, the high-ranking plumber that originally recruited Max, they begin their search. However, as a catch, the Omnitrix has recalibrated after Ben's 4-year hero hiatus and has locked away his original transformations, while giving him 10 new ones.
Oh.
The three run into Kevin Levitt, now 16.
So wait, it's locked everything away, but he's got 10 brand new ones, and that's all he can work with right now? Is that what it is? That's what it sounds like.
Back on Earth, during a weapons deal with the Forever Knights. The DNA aliens, slaves that work for the Hybrid, are also present, and after a short escapade, Magister Labrid dies in battle, leaving Ben to carry on Max's legacy. Double-crossed from his weapons deal and honored by Labrid's sacrifice, Kevin offers his help in defeating the Hybrid and their DNA aliens. Recalling Ben's so-called dream of a future where he and Kevin were friends, Ben agrees, and the iconic Alien Force trio is formed. Using his new abilities, the trio begin recruiting superpowered allies
I knew that dude was going to be on our side.
for an upcoming invasion. Some were good, some were bad, and some were quite questionable. The three eventually find that Max is still alive and has been deep undercover investigating the Hybrid fleet, only to seemingly die yet again by using an unstable null void projector as a grenade to kill a Hybrid general and give Ben and his team another fighting chance.
What is with Gramps? Which, by the way, I did know by the second one that it was the grandpa because I had recorded both those early because I had somewhere to go. But I know now he's the grandpa. I got
To
it.
honor Max's sacrifice, Ben continues his journey to put together a valuable team. As the Hybrid invasion gets closer, many revelations are made. Gwen finds out that her powers come from her alien grandmother and has been using magic to channel her abilities.
Yes.
The gang meet Professor Paradox.
And y'all told me Ben actually has that potential, right? The magical potential. And I think y'all said in one of the continuations, there's an alternate version where he actually does. Is that right? I'm learning, guys. I'm
A
learning.
man thought dead due to a failed time travel experiment that has
Paradox.
accidentally launched him outside of reality, where he learned to bend time and space
That is indeed a paradox. How much irony that
and
is.
find his way back. And most
Nice.
importantly, Ben had unlocked his most powerful transformation yet, Alien
X.
a nigh omnipotent being that can bend reality
If you'd like to see me watch a video on Alien X, I've got that too. I will try to put that one at the end of this one, but I've already said I'm going to put other stuff, so we'll see.
with a mere thought. Although this power comes with complications to overcome. Later, after a distress call from the Null Void by one of the allies Ben has made, he discovers that Max has yet again escaped the clutches of death. and the Null Void Grenade ended up transporting him to this dimension, where he has began an uprising against the dictator persona of Dr. Animo, known as the Void. Ben assists the revolution, but Max refuses to leave, as he believes there is still work left for him to do there, but promises to return one day.
Got it.
Now an independent leader, not by burden, but by choice, Ben prepares for war. The war officially begins with the fall of Galvan Prime, the homeworld of Azimuth. He and Paradox then set things into motion. Ben calls in every favor he has at the time for a final assault on the Hybrid, as their plans to extinguish all life they deem impure.
I really like the style of the art on this, guys. I know this is not Ben 10 style art, but it's pretty cool looking. It really is.
Which is any race that is
Gwendolyn looks awesome. Or Gwen. Or
not their own, is in full effect. Azimuth at first refuses for Ben to participate in the war, as the Omnitrix is too valuable to risk losing. But after realizing that nothing will stop Ben from fighting, he grants Ben access to the Master Control, the full powers of the Omnitrix that he had only experienced once before. Ben fights his way to the Hybrid Control Tower, only to find that.
So does the full powers mean that he has access to the tens of thousands of species or whatever? Or does it have more power that I don't know about? Like, can it do things beyond the transformation?
The true Hybrid Supreme Council is located on their home planet. Max triumphantly returns with his own team to give Ben the fighting chance to make it to the Supreme Council. There, it is revealed that the Hybrid race is actually dying, and they intend to wipe out the galaxy along with them. On a whim, Ben uses the Omnitrix's genetic damage repair function, amplified by the Hybrid galactic jump gates, to rejuvenate the Hybrid's entire toxic bloodline, recombinating their DNA and
what? I gotta listen to that one again, guys. I was paying attention, but
to Retrix's genetic damage and to wipe out the galaxy along with them. On a whim, Ben uses the Omnitrix's genetic damage repair function, amplified by the Hybrid galactic jump gates, to rejuvenate
genetic damage repair function. A species is going to die out, and that little watch can repair the entire species so that they don't meet their demise? What? If you haven't seen me react to why Ben 10 can beat Superman, Goku, and pretty much anyone, you should check that out on my channel. But at this moment in time, I think I figured it out. I think I've got it, man.
The Hybrid's entire toxic bloodline, recombinating their DNA and giving them a second chance at life. With the war ending, and Ben Tennyson now recognized as a galactic hero.
I feel like they need some sort of like judge council, though, because they were literally going to kill everyone because they have to die. Like, I think we need some rewiring up here, too, in addition to just getting healed. Like, that's messed up.
The Hybrid returned home. Max continues training the Max Force, his new team of recruits, while Azimuth says his goodbye to Ben, who has yet again lost access to the Master Control. Ben's new heroic status starts to cloud his judgment and fuels his ego. Months later, Vilgax arrives on Earth with his follower, Siphon. Vilgax issues a Conqueror's Challenge, a law galactically enforced that allows the opposer to challenge that planet's greatest hero, with the champion obtaining ownership.
It looks like Superman.
Of the planet upon victory. Vilgax has done this to 10 other worlds, including his own home planet, which has now been renamed Vilgaxia, redeeming his status as a banished criminal to a respected leader and warrior.
Reminds me of Otisburg from Superman 1978.
With his 10 victories, Vilgax now wields many new powers and weapons. To ensure victory, Kevin and Ben attempt to hack the Omnitrix after Azimuth refuses to help Ben after the Hybrid War gave Ben a much more arrogant personality.
And y'all said Azimuth, I was talking about how tiny he was. Y'all said he's actually like super small. Is that right? Is he even bigger than they illustrated in the illustration on this illustration?
The experiment goes awry, breaking the Omnitrix, releasing some of Ben's aliens into the world, and permanent.
What? That thing can genetically repair an entire race, but it gets a little glitch.
Chooses to help Ben after the Hybrid War gave Ben a much more arrogant personality. The experiment goes awry, breaking the Omnitrix, releasing some of Ben's aliens into the world, and permanently mutating Kevin for a second time. The trio work together to recapture Ben's missing aliens,
is Kevin gonna be a bad guy?
The Omnitrix remains broken. The challenge begins, and Ben appears to be a perfect match for Vilgax's new powers, until Vilgax gets the upper hand and kills Ben in his chromosome transformation. Suddenly, Ben's broken pieces begin to reform into another transformation, Diamond Head, one of his original 10, and promptly defeats Vilgax.
Wait, with one of his original 10. So like this whole time, he already had the most powerful.
The trouble weighs on the trio due to his mutation, as no one is able to figure out how to cure him. Unable to escape his defeat, Vilgax continues to pursue the trio. Eventually,
I missed something. I'm going to go back, and I'm going to show you how irritating it is for me to go back every time I miss something.
The trouble weighs on the trio due to his mutation, as no one is able to figure out how to cure him. Unable to escape his defeat, Vilgax continues to pursue the trio, eventually teaming up with Azimuth's ex-assistant, Albedo. After a failed attempt to recreate the Omnitrix after he was deemed unworthy, Albedo was accidentally genetically altered, now resembling a warped Ben Tennyson. The two agreed to an alliance to retrieve the Omnitrix from Ben. Albedo would use the Omnitrix
It's like Bizarro Ben
to cure himself, and Vilgax to rule the galaxy. Albedo eventually stole an Omnitrix core from Azimuth to complete the Ultimatrix, a device that can turn Albedo into Ben's aliens, and then evolve them into their ultimate form.
How did he get that? Did he say?
Albedo eventually stole an Omnitrix core from Azimuth to complete the Ultimatrix, a device that can turn Albedo into Ben's aliens, and then evolve them into their ultimate form.
See how annoying it is whenever I go back every time I miss something? So he stole an Omnitrix core to make this thing. That's crazy.
The two capture Gwen and Kevin and threaten execution unless Ben hands over the Omnitrix. Ben complies, and Vilgax uses the Omnitrix to power his Bioid army, finally achieving his dream of commanding an army of Omnitrix users. Vilgax double-crosses Albedo and keeps the Omnitrix for himself. As Vilgax begins his reign over the galaxy, Ben activates the self-destruct on his Omnitrix via voice command, telling Vilgax that the Omnitrix will destroy itself if he does not give it back to Ben.
I have heard so much about this self-destruct. Is it like on a timer, I guess?
Vilgax believes Ben is bluffing and lets the Omnitrix explode, destroying it for good. Ben swipes the Ultimatrix from Albedo to once again gain the power to transform into his
Now, how can he swipe the Ultimatrix if... Doesn't this thing, like, bond to you or something somehow? Like, how does... I get that he's just telling me what happened in a quick way, but I do feel like I need to know the details. Exactly how did that happen? How did he get that Ultimatrix off him? How does that happen? Because I everything y'all tell me, like, it's stuck, you know?
Aliens, but now has the option to go ultimate. During the battle, Vilgax's ship plummets into the ocean, where Vilgax unleashes his true form, only to be defeated by Ben using ultimate swamp fire.
Daggum, that was a big thing.
The destruction of the Omnitrix also cures Kevin, as the frequency from their original experiment is what kept Kevin in his mutated state.
Okay.
Armed with new abilities, the trio's journey
He just has to walk around in underwear now?
continues.
This video is the fourth in a 5-part series of an
Number
illustrated
4.
retelling of the entire history of Ben 10, from the classic series all the way to Omniverse. The information will be presented chronologically, so you will see all flashback and time travel shenanigans play out in the order they would have happened in the natural progression of the universe.
Okay, just so you know, a lot of y'all have told me this is chronological. I understand that. Like, I get that, and that's really, really cool. In the first video, I didn't know, but I definitely figured out now, and I'm really enjoying the lore of Ben 10.
By the end, you should be well-versed in the legacy that is the hero of heroes. I'd love to hear reactions from both longtime fans and new beginners of the show, and see if they can follow along.
That's what we're doing here.
Now, let's begin.
Oh, and let me know in the comments, too, how accurate this stuff is, if it's kind of messed up or off. Some of y'all say it is, but most of y'all say it's pretty good.
On Osmos 5, home planet of the Osmosian race, a tyrant named Agrigor sets out to absorb the powers of 5 special alien species, which
I like that turtle guy.
would give him the power to survive the treacherous journey to collect all 4 parts of the map of infinity. Agrigor captures the aliens and makes his way back to Osmos 5, where he will absorb their powers through a special machine. The alien prisoners revolt and crash land on Earth, each going their separate ways.
Okay.
Off the coast of the ocean, Vilgax washes up and is found by bystanders.
Oh, Gilgax don't look good, man. Maybe we can get him on our side.
Too weak from his previous battle, he cannot return to his normal form and can barely move. He is unable to resist being sold to a traveling carnival as a sideshow until he is discovered by a member of the Flamekeeper Circle.
That's the fate of Gilgax, to be in a traveling carnival?
Run by a man named Conduit Edwards. The Flamekeeper Circle is...
At this stage, is he, like, sentient? Is he, like, does he talk? Or how does that go at this stage? Does he have any sort of being to him at all, or is he just like this living
It's a
blob?
religious charity organization at face value, but in secret, worship an ancient being known as the Dagon. They believe that humanity was jump-started by aliens, and that the
I could make so many religious references, but I don't want to offend anybody. Just gonna leave it at
Dagon
that.
would one day return to Earth for a second coming of enlightenment, and it just so happens that Vilgax bears a passing resemblance to him. Members of the Circle are known as the Esoterica, and as worshippers of the
Esoterica.
Dagon, have the ability to phase in and out of dimensions, and expel powerful demonic
I can't believe he got sold to the Monopoly guy.
energy. Vilgax, accepting his false identity as the Dagon, is cared for and nursed back to health by the Circle. Life seems to have fallen into repetition for the
Now, are those, what are they called? Esoterica? Are they evil?
trio until Ben discovers that his secret identity. Life seems to have fallen into repetition for the trio until Ben discovers that his secret identity was leaked online, bringing him a lot of unwanted attention in the media.
Okay, guy, I didn't know this until just now. He has a secret identity? He runs around wearing the same jacket and watch all the time. Nobody can tell it's him when he's not an eight. Clarify that for me. Let me make sure I heard what he said right.
His secret identity. Life seems to have fallen into repetition for the trio until Ben discovers that his secret identity was leaked online, bringing him a lot of unwanted attention in the media and his personal life. The trio tracked down the leak to a low-class childhood blogger named Jimmy Jones, who deduced Ben's secret himself. He
Jimmy
tips them off about an alien stealing pieces of a nuclear bomb in Florida for them to investigate. Kevin unleashes their new ship, the Rust Bucket 3, and sets a course. They come across the first of the 5 Andromeda aliens that they agree to rescue and help return to their home worlds. In the end,
Nice.
Agrigor always had the upper hand and recaptured the aliens for himself.
Is that his little staff? Is that how his little staff looks in the cartoon? And does that thing have any kind of power to it? It sure is crazy looking.
Completing his mutation as Ultimate Agrigor. The following battle leaves Max with a damaged nervous system, stranding him on Galvin Mark II while he heals.
Not Grandpa Max.
Paradox claims that he was the one who hid all 4 pieces of the map of infinity, as a race between Ultimate Agrigor and the trio begins. Despite their efforts, Ultimate Agrigor proves to be very smart and very powerful, and builds the map of infinity which grants him access to the Forge of Creation, where celestial sapiens, such as Alien X, are born.
Oh, okay. All right. Things are starting to make a little bit of sense to me, especially with Alien X. I don't think Alien X has come into play at all just yet. But I have a video I reacted to describing a lot about Alien X. That's a crazy alien, guys.
Paradox brings them to the Forge's entrance, where Ben accidentally entangles himself with a chrono-randomization barrier, pulling his 10-year-old self out of the timeline for a team-up of generations.
What? They team up Ben 10 with Ben 17? Well, how old is he? I don't know. But does he? That's crazy cool. I like that.
The 2 Bens, Gwen and Kevin, battle Ultimate Agrigor on the palms of a giant celestial sapien mother. Agrigor plans to absorb.
Now, Ben, when he transforms, he doesn't transform to a 10-year-old version of these aliens, right? So I see that they're like the same height now.
Its child and obtain omnipotence, as infinite celestial sapiens do not have the same drawbacks as their adult selves.
That's a baby Alien X, correct? I asked what one of those was in another video, and I think that's what y'all told me. It was a baby Alien X.
Just as he is about to succeed, Kevin sacrifices his sanity and absorbs the powers of Ben's Ultimatrix, creating Ultimate Kevin, and defeats Agrigor by absorbing his powers too. The overwhelming power immediately drives Kevin mad, and the trio...
Oh, I knew we were losing Kevin Levin again. Gah! Something about that
temporarily broken. Paradox takes young Ben back to his own timeline, allowing him to recall these events as a dream, so Ben can faintly remember a future where they were once best friends.
Wait, what now?
Temporarily broken. Paradox takes young Ben back to his own timeline, allowing him to recall these events as a dream, so Ben can faintly remember a future where
so young Ben remembers the future where
they were once best friends. Kevin's involuntary betrayal drives a wedge between Ben and Gwen. Gwen continues to support the idea that Kevin has changed, and they should save him no matter what. Ben disagrees, saying
she supports the idea that he's changed. Oh, that they should save no matter what. Okay,
Kevin is obviously too far gone, and they should kill him before anyone else gets harmed by him.
That makes sense. I thought they were saying that she supported the idea that he's changed, and I was like, What idea?
Meanwhile, Ultimate Kevin hungers for power and attacks many of his old friends and enemies alike, including the Max Force and the Warden that killed his childhood friend who helped him escape. With the
I just want to scream like that mom in Home Alone.
help of sometimes enemy Darkstar and Cooper Daniels, a technopath, Ben and Gwen each take their own shot at dealing with Kevin.
Technopath, that means you can control technology with your mind, is that right?
Gwen tries to get Kevin to see reason, which fails. Ben engages Kevin in battle, as both nearly die at different points. Darkstar and Cooper finalize a device that can cure Kevin powered by the remains of the Dominus Librium, an ancient energy-conducting artifact believed to be of alien origin. With Kevin cured, the trio reunited, and Max finally healed from his injuries, all seems well.
So that little trinket healed Kevin Levin? I don't know why. I never feel certain about him. Never.
In the world. This is until the Forever Knights, continuing their ancient tradition of finding and exploiting alien technology, come across an old seal bearing their symbol that they believe to be a weapons vault. They crack open the vault, but it is too strong to break open entirely, and lets loose a creature that starts wreaking havoc on Bellwood. It's too strong to break open entirely, and lets loose a creature that's...
It's tardigrade. It's tardigrade. It's a water bear. That's what it is. They let loose a giant water bear.
Starts wreaking havoc on Bellwood. This gains the attention of the trio, who work with the Knights to track down the creature. When found, the creature leeches onto Gwen, embedding itself into her mind, temporarily controlling her. The trio free her, leaving Gwen with new memories, revealing the creature to actually be a demon that feeds off of prayers called a Lucubra, a servant of...
Feeds off of prayers? Did I hear that right?
Revealing the creature to actually be a demon that feeds off of prayers called a...
Guys, how do you feed off of prayers? You have to get somebody to pray, and then that prayer... It's prayers, right? Like, what? How does that...
Lucubra, a servant of a great being named the Dagon. What they broke was actually a seal that was keeping the beast away, and now he is slowly breaking free again. The broken seal also alerts an old man from the senior center known simply as George, who begins to make his way to the seal. Confirming it is broken, his quest to slay the Dagon begins once more. He goes to Area 51 and teleports the entire base onto the side of a mountain, and
George is powerful.
Uses it as a place to perform his operations. Meanwhile, the trio is confronted by Paradox and Ultimate Ben.
Not by George?
Another version of Ben's future. Ben realizes that every time he meets his future self.
Does he call him Ultimate Ben? Like, is he like, hey, Ben, I'm Ultimate Ben? Like, how does that work?
His future will change, but for now, this future comes with the power to access his transformations while in human form.
So we're definitely dealing with alternate timeline stuff here, like things are affected.
They arrive to help put an end to Eon, an evil time walker who has been traveling across the multiverse, killing different Ben Tennysons. Although they later find that this is not the case, as he is in fact recruiting them for his own personal reasons. The trio, Ultimate Ben and Paradox, defeat Eon by destroying their universe's version of the Hands of Armageddon, which is said to exist simultaneously in every possible universe.
What?
Ultimate Ben returns to the future after giving Ben's Ultimatrix new transformations, and Paradox warns Ben to beware a man named Old George.
What are these... I have a question. What are these new transformations for his Ultimatrix that Ultimate Ben put on Ben's? What are those? Okay, that's my question. The reason I broke is because this George. I don't know if it's the way they drew him for the illustration or how the pose is or what, but the George is cracking me up. Is it humorous in the show, or is it just like because of what they're doing here?
At this time, Old George hails a meeting at Area 51 with the leaders of each faction of the Forever Knights, who have all had their own run-ins with Ben over the years, and proclaims that the Knights must carry out their true order, exterminating all aliens on the planet. He upgrades the Knights with advanced armor and weaponry, with special vehicles to complement. The Purge, as it is officially titled, is kicked off with the death of Pierce Wheels, one of Max's students, prompting the trio to step in. Ben puts an end to the Purge, but later finds that the entire event was a distraction, as George's real quest was to re-obtain the Sword of Ascalon, which is currently still piercing the Dagon's heart in his invisible, teleporting fortress.
Again, I don't think that heart looks that impressive. I feel like it should be like better color.
George was able to calculate where the fortress would appear next, and using his notes, Gwen and the gang follow closely behind. At the fortress, George and the trio are both met by Vilgax, who were brought by the Flamekeeper Circle. Still thinking Vilgax is Dagon, they aim to reunite Dagon with his heart so he may regain his full power and save humanity. As a battle between the Esoterica and Forever Knights ensues, Vilgax grabs hold of Ascalon.
Wait, can he do anything?
And is rejuvenated back to his land form.
That's what I was wondering, guys. If he has the ability to move in that form or do anything really,
Now powered by the sword, he then hears the voice of the real Dagon, telling him he is aware of his shenanigans, but will actually grant him ultimate power if he becomes his servant, and go back to the seal and finish breaking it to set Dagon free. Vilgax agrees and heads towards the seal, with the trio and Old George chasing him. At the seal, Vilgax fails to fully break it, and is instead sucked into the cracks, leaving Ascalon behind. Old George
Well, how is that helpful? Is that by accident, or did the thing inside do that? Because I don't see how that would be helpful to it. It's like, yeah, I'll let you not succeed.
Unites with Ascalon, and is restored to his youthful strength. Old George says the Dagon is his mission, and the trio agree to back off for now, and see if Old George can handle it on his own. A few weeks later, the trio investigate the Flamekeeper Circle's hideout, but find no one there. They find that they have rallied around the
How is that an alien? A lot of these aliens look like robots.
With an army of Esoterica to help free Dagon once and for all. The Forever Knights, led by Sir George.
The Forever Knights keep changing their outfits. Is there a reason for that? Did I miss that? They keep having different looks to them. Are there future versions and past versions? Is that kind of how it works?
Against the Esoterica. As hundreds upon hundreds of knights in Esoterica break into an all-out...
Also, what is with the swords on the Forever Knights? Those swords don't look right. That is weird. Let's go with a different emblem, guys.
At war, Conduit Edwards kills Sir George's squire, so Sir George kills Conduit Edwards, with Edwards still proclaiming his loyalty to the great Dagon with his last dying breath.
Why is his head so big?
Ben soon finds and joins George in battle, where they are confronted by Vilgax, who has now been granted demonic power from Dagon to destroy the seal. They fight against Vilgax's new form.
I didn't know we were going demonic on Ben 10.
But appear evenly matched. As the seal cracks even more, Dagon's power is released onto Earth, turning every living being on the planet into Esoterica. Aside from George and the trio, who were protected by Gwen. However, the seal still isn't fully broken. Unsatisfied with Vilgax as his servant,
I'm still waiting to see. Y'all say that there's a version of Ben that uses the magic that he's got, because of the genes or whatever. Does that happen in this? I know there's another part after this one, too. Which, by the way, I will be doing the next part, and I'll probably be combining all of them for that last part, just like the Ink Tank did, because it seems wise they did it. Why
Dagon
not?
reconnects with Gwen through a bug he implanted in her during the Lucubra incident, and forces her to break the seal. Gwen succeeds, and Dagon frees himself into the universe. Dagon towers over them in a godlike prestige, and does battle with the trio and Sir George as the last defense against humanity. The Dagon turns George into dust, ultimately defeating him. As all hope seems lost, it is actually Vilgax, who was planning for this the whole time, who defeats Dagon by absorbing his power into himself, the same way he stole power from the other 10 worlds he conquered. Against a Dagon-powered Vilgax, Ben wields the sword of Ascalon
a Dagon-powered Vilgax
himself, and fulfills George's destiny by putting an end to Dagon's power, forever. Ben absorbed...
Now, hold on, I'm going to go back, because I'm not quite sure what just happened with Ben here. I know he fulfilled George's thing, but is he a Forever Knight now?
Against a Dagon-powered Vilgax, Ben wields the sword of Ascalon himself, and fulfills George's destiny by putting an end to Dagon's power, forever. Ben absorbs the Dagon's power into the sword, and armed with the Ultimatrix, Vilgax proclaims Ben as a god and urges him to use his power to reshape the universe any way he wishes. Tempted by nigh omnipotence, Ben refuses the power and returns the sword to Asmith. Asmith is impressed by...
Wow. Asmith's impressed as well. I was impressed,
Ben's growth since becoming more arrogant after the hybrid invasion, and deems Ben worthy of the new, completed Omnitrix.
Okay.
The trio slumps back into the usual hero time charade until Gwen reveals that she is accepting a scholarship to go to college early.
Some classic hero stuff, and college interrupts it all.
And Kevin is leaving with her, breaking up the Alien Force team. Max sends a freshly graduated Plumber Academy student, Rook Blanco, to be Ben's new partner, and the
That's a weird looking dude.
two slowly begin working out their differences, fighting crime in the underground city known as Undertown, formed from the alien camps that helped rebuild Bellwood back in 2007. They come across a
So what kind of alien is this dude?
spaceship rumored to be owned by the Quantumalia, the
That's
creators of the universe. And on board is their Annihilarg, which can both create and destroy universes. In a ragtag fight for the Annihilarg against other foes, the device is accidentally activated, eradicating everyone and everything in the universe except for Ben, who
What? Oh, this is where Alien X stuff comes in real heavy, isn't it? He's got to deliberate and be like, can we please bring back the universe?
protects himself as Alien X, finally starting to master his power. Ben
Now, I'm going to ask you guys, was the Alien X protection, was that the Omnitrix, or was that, let me see, maybe he tells
for
me.
Ben, who protects himself as
Protects himself. But was it the Omnitrix that decided to protect him, or was he quick enough to react?
Alien X. Finally starting to master his power, Ben uses Alien X to create a new universe to replace his old one, although it is not an
Does he rebuild the people? Like, does he create the people from scratch and their memories and all that stuff? Are they technically not the same people? That's kind of what I'm wanting to know, guys.
exact duplicate, and so far, no one aside from Ben believes this actually happened. After 5 years, malware
You saved everybody in the world, and they're like, no, you didn't. Is this April Fool's? Where's Ashton Kutcher? You know what I mean? Like,
finally continues his pursuit against Azimuth. Kyber is sent to hunt down and capture Ben with his beast, now armed with the DNA of predators of Ben's respective aliens through the completed Nematrix. Combating species who were naturally born to fight Ben's aliens against a skilled huntsman strengthens the bond between Ben and Rook, becoming true partners. But even with their teamwork, Malware has successfully upgraded himself enough to launch an attack on Galvan Mark II. They begin by destroying their moon, Galvan B,
yeah, that'll do it. That'll do it.
disabling all of the mechamorphs present. Malware then continues to evolve himself using Galvan Mark II's
He just pancaked those jokers.
resources and transforms into a giant. Ben struggles to defeat giant Malware and gets
with his own version of Ultraman
absorbed into him, and has an existential realization with his younger self. This revelation restores Ben's old transformation feedback.
I feel like we just yada yada'd over a very cool storyline. I'm looking forward to that. I'll forget all about it before I get there. You guys know I can't remember nothing. Some of y'all say I got the memory of a goldfish. Accurate.
Back into his new Omnitrix, and becomes the catalyst that puts an end to Malware once and
cool
for
alien.
all. The adventures of Rook and Ben continue.
He just Kamehame-ha'd that guy right out of there.
As they save the planet from the incursion invasion, prevent Albedo from permanently stealing the brain of Azimuth, and liberate the Anur system from the evil clutches of Lord Transil. Paradox returns once more with a warning that the entire multiverse is at stake, as Eon and Vilgax have teamed up and have been time-traveling together for years, putting together an army of evil Ben Tennysons for a war. The battle will take
Oh, that's cool, man. I like that. It's a whole mess of evil Ben Tennysons.
place in an alternate universe, where one of the Bens never found the Omnitrix, because the Omnitrix never even existed here. That universe is then targeted by the evil Bens, only for Ben Prime to swoop in and save him. Ben and Paradox fight alongside Ben 23, Gwen 10, and Ben 10K. Another version of Ben's future that
is Ben 10K Ultimate Ben, or is that not Ultimate Ben? Is that a different Ben? The Bens are getting a little out of control, guys. Does he voice all of those characters? Or do they have different voices and stuff?
has the power to fuse his transformations together to protect No Watch Ben from Vilgax and Eon's army.
No Watch Ben.
The battle's true purpose was a distraction.
I'm loving the casual, humorous names here.
Allowing Vilgax to activate his Chronosapien time bomb and erase
Or they call him No Watch Ben in the show. That'd be awesome. I'd love it.
every single universe and timeline from existence. All except for No Watch Ben, who Ben Prime bequeaths his Omnitrix to seconds before being erased himself.
What? Hold on, let me make sure I heard that right.
Who Ben Prime bequeaths his Omnitrix to seconds before being erased himself.
That Ben gave, or bequeathed, his Omnitrix to No Watch Ben. And as far as I know, that Ben has not ever had a watch. Doesn't even know what to do with it, right? Am I right? I don't know if I'm right.
Fox takes this Ben on a journey to restore the timeline, revealing that it was those two that manipulated the events of Ben Prime's timeline for Ben Prime to receive the Omnitrix in the first place. No Watch Ben also helped.
Okay, that's cool. That's really cool. I believe we already touched on this, but I like that cyclical, like, time. I like it. I like it a lot. I can't, my words, no good. However, I like.
Helps Paradox collect the good Bens for battle, but is left behind when the war starts again. No Watch Ben re-enters his universe shortly after the time bomb went off.
No Watch Ben now with Watch. We got to correct him.
But now has a better understanding of the Omnitrix and the responsibilities of a hero. Using clockwork, he reverses the effects of the time bomb and restores the multiverse.
No Watch Ben returns the Omnitrix to Ben Prime, and the good...
Dude, Clockwork was one of the original 10, wasn't he? Like, that's powerful. That's powerful.
Good Bens effortlessly defeat Vilgax together.
Back in Ben Prime's dimension, Ben is put on trial.
Vilgax, who I often call Gilgax, and get in trouble
By the Celestial Sapiens for illegally recreating his universe as Alien X, which violates the Multiversal Preservation Act. The court eventually rules Ben guilty.
Imagine having a deliberation team of a couple other heads and you still do something wrong.
But by using the Tetraman Trial of Combat, agrees to fight another Celestial Sapien for his own freedom. It is during this battle that Ben finally gains full control of Alien X and defeats the
I apologize. I have seen this battle in clips on other videos, and I'm like, why would they need to punch each other? It makes so much sense now, guys. It was to settle the legality I can't, again, my words today, I am not on top of that, but you know what I'm talking, you see that I get it, right? Like, you get that. Okay, it makes sense now. It's like, you might be able to defeat somebody and kill them, but if you're settling a debate in some way, form, or fashion, you don't kill them. You settle it the way that you agreed to. This is the way they agreed to. I like it.
Galactic Gladiator, clearing his name. With the entire universe now aware of what Ben has done, Cervantes finally returns after realizing that the dangerous threat known as Ben Tennyson has put the Omnitrix back on. He restores Kevin's childhood memories of being the Rooters' main assassin, prompting Kevin to do the same to everyone else who had lost their memories. A charade of events lead to Ben, Gwen...
I'm sure when I watch the show, well, I don't know how long it'll take me to get this far, guys. But my question is, did they realize that they didn't know, or did he just restore their memories and then that made them not ever realize that they never knew? Yeah.
Argit, Rook, Kevin, Alan, Helen, and Manny, all in the Rooters' headquarters located in the Null Void.
Like
Cervantes physically takes control of the Amalgam Kids, but is unable to do so to Kevin, who he instead corrupts by taunting him about Ben ruining his childhood and imprisoning him. Kevin seemingly turns on the team and joins Cervantes.
He's so manageable. He should be called Kevin Manage, because you just twist him any which way, it seems.
Fight breaks out between them, leaving Kevin permanently scarred on his chin.
Kevin surprises everyone by...
On his chin? All right, I'm down.
By revealing that ever since his last mutated incident...
You know, usually, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like a or something, you know what I mean? Like his chin. That's a weird...
He has gained control over his powers and was faking insanity the entire time to get close to Cervantes.
To destroy his connection to the other Amalgam Kids, leading to his defeat, demotion, and strands him in the Null Void. The Time War is now set...
So, when he knew and learned his powers, I guess he kind of decided... Now's not the time to fight him. I need everybody else, so I'll play along. Is that kind of how it went? He kind of had to play along. Okay. All right.
Into motion as enemies from the future, Subdora and Exoskull, are tasked with collecting all the pieces of Maltruant scattered across the multiverse to become whole again. Lots of time-traveling events lead to Ben and Rook teaming up with Ben's future son, Kenny, and Skurd, a slime biot that found his way onto Ben's Omnitrix and can form special weapons and tools based on Omnitrix DNA. Their goal is to prevent Maltruant
I have seen pictures of that, I think.
from succeeding, but this journey follows Ben all the way to adulthood. Now 36 years old, Ben is fighting.
Wow, he's getting old. He's got gray in his thing at 36. I didn't start getting this until like last year. This little bit of gray here. And I'm older than 36. Not by a ton.
To stop Maltruant from building his own corrupted Annihilarg, and travel back to the beginning of time to remake his universe in his image. As a gift from Paradox and Ben 10K, Ben and Rook use special time cycles to follow Maltruant into
nice.
a literal
I like
race
that.
against time.
Time cycle. That's pretty cool. It reminds me a bit of what's the movies with the game in the Tron. It reminds me a little bit of Tron.
Temporarily knock Maltruant outside of the time vortex,
Not this way,
stranding him on Earth in the 1770s. Maltruant sends out a distress signal and is greeted by young
Is this where we see George Washington again?
Vilgax, who agrees to repair Maltruant's carriage in
Got it.
exchange for the Chronosapien
Carriage
time bomb.
repaired.
Ben and Rook arrive to battle them with George Washington. Vilgax is inspired to dedicate his life to obtain
I like that, guys. That's really cool that George Washington has a place in this show. That's cool.
the Omnitrix, and Maltruant makes his escape back into the vortex. They arrive at the beginning
Did you know we actually have a photograph of George Washington, like when he's old and stuff? He doesn't have that wig on and stuff, but we actually have, I believe, a photograph of him.
of time to find themselves face to face with a Quantumalia ship, and are met by the three multiversal gods before them, who take the shape of your heart's desire so you can physically perceive their fifth-dimensional forms. Maltruant arrives not
cups.
long after, and
Their forms are shake cups. That's cool.
activates his evil Annihilarg. Skurd forms a celestial blade to cut through the Quantumalia's chamber, but Ben
That's pretty cool looking. That indeed is pretty
has
cool.
no choice but to dive in after the Annihilarg as a last-ditch effort to save
got
the
it, Ben.
universe.
You got it.
Hope prevails, and using the power of all of his transformations, Ben contains the Big Bang and fires it into Maltruant, scattering his body into pieces for Ben and Paradox to hide across the multiverse, with Maltruant destined to repeat his failure over and over again, trapped in an endless time loop. Ben says his goodbyes to Skurd, who wishes to join his ancestors in the development of life.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
The Quantumalia are impressed by their observations, and invite Ben and
Do they really look like shakes? Like, is that like that?
Rook to stay and witness the true birth of their own reality.
And what kind of alien is... I forgot his name. Rock? Ron?
The Annihilarg is placed into the chamber and sent into the endless void. From there, the Universe Prime is born.
There you go. It has begun. Retroactively. Guys, this illustration done by the ink tank is freaking awesome. Like, it is so well done. It is insane. Not just with the illustration, but with the breakdown and the consistency of the storytelling. It's absolutely
But the story
amazing.
doesn't have to end there. This entire video was made to guide you through Ben Prime's legacy
You
as
did.
a testament to my passionate belief that Ben
Guys, let me know. Okay, I'm going to do this other channel, I think. A little side channel. Not going to focus on it as much as I do this one. But where I react to some of the shows that, you know, I've been looking into fandoms. Let me know if that's something you want me to do. If you do, put in the comments episodes. I'm using that as a tally to figure out how much interest there is in this. And this was awesome. Okay, this was absolutely awesome. I am definitely going to continue watching more Ben 10 videos. Y'all have given me a ton you want me to watch in the meantime. One of which, everything that Omnitrix can do. I'm going to watch that Ben 10 Green Lantern fight, and I'm going to watch the video that debunks it. I've got a whole bunch coming, guys. So subscribe for more, absolutely. Remember, like Superman, live humbly, do good.